Hey, this is Pose of the Week, and our pose was requested by Donna, and it's Pigeon. Now, I've done Pigeon before, but I'm going to bring a few more layers to it this time. The thing about Pigeon is that this kind of quintessential opening, hip opening pose in yoga is actually potentially injurious to the knee. I think we all know that, but why is that? That is because what we're missing in range of motion at the hip, which we should have lots of range of motion at the hip, it's a ball and socket joint, we ask the knee to make up for what's missing at the hip. And oftentimes we have this very tight piriformis muscle, that's that muscle in the butt that makes our hips feel like they're tight, and this is directly stretching that piriformis muscle. But that muscle might be the only one of your lateral hip rotators that's actually doing its job. So stretching it might not be a great idea. So what I suggest instead is let's get them all stronger. Let's get all those lateral hip rotators stronger. So I often will have my students grab blocks and just put them beside them. It's going to help them steer in this posture. And you know, we're just working toward bringing a foot forward and the knee to the side. If the knee doesn't want to, a foot doesn't want to go forward, just keep it back a little bit, no problem. Keep it super active. And the knee veers off to the side like that. Okay, so that's getting lots of range at the hip. Now my back leg has to stay active too. I'm keeping the toes tucked under, and you know, I should be in a position where I could easily lift my knee with a little activation. So now I'm going to start activating down. You see, I want to be able to press down into both legs and lift myself away from the mat. I'm not going to actually bolster under my hips or my thigh, because I'm not going to actually be lying on the mat. I'm actually going to stay up quite high, so I'm pressing down here. Now some people might feel a little bit of compression in the back, but that would be because they're letting the pelvis spill forward. So we want to activate the pelvis, press down into this front leg, and that's going to help you pull up through your center and access your deep front line. So that's what I'm using my hands here to steer. You see I can steer my hips. I want to push my right hip forward, and then I can press down into my front leg, press down into my back leg. This is super strong. So up and down a few times. So you can use the hands on the blocks and press down and lift and come down. Press and lift and come down. What's this going to do? It's going to strengthen my lateral hip rotators. And there's lots of ways to strengthen, but let's strengthen here first before we try to stretch the piriformis. And then you can take the blocks off to the side, and again, you're working on taking this hip forward and bringing it around, pulling up through the core, pressing down into this front leg. And then we can have a different experience over here. Just let the blocks guide you over there. This is great for advanced practitioners and beginners. It's just a different kind of sensory input that we're introducing to the system. So press, press, press. Now after I've done some strengthening, you might even want to take 3 or 4 weeks and just work on strengthening for this pose. And then you can relax down into it. Coming onto forearms, and I stay active here by pulling my hands toward my body and keeping my straight leg rooting down. And that helps me keep squaring the hips forward. If at any level you start to feel this in the knee, then just slightly back out of it so that you can stay active here while you strengthen those lateral hip rotators and keep the knee safe. Okay? This is where we injure ourselves in yoga, is rotating this knee. Rotating the knee inward. So beware of those type of postures. You've got to stay active in those. If you stay active, you're going to be safe. You will get deeper eventually, and you're going to get stronger in the process. Best of both worlds. All right, try it that way. Tell me what you think, Jaya. Thanks for requesting. Bye for now.